Alright guys, today we're going to be smoking a beef back rib. So I got this one here from Costco. It was about 22 bucks, $4.99 a pound. Could be better, but it could be worse, but it's what we got. So I already got all our seasonings and oil prepared. So I got a various mix of rubs, a little bit of brisket rub, some chicken rub, kind of any rub I wanted to really put in there. So we're going to start this by getting some Bonder in there. So I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil, get that in there, and being rubbed and we're rubbing, we're going to rub that in. Rub it in nicely. Keep rubbing. And after you get it all rubbed in, we're going to grab one of our pre-made seasonings and we're going to drizzle that on. Ooh yeah, looking nice, looking nice. We keep drizzling that. Keep drizzling that, and guess what? We're gonna rub it in. We're gonna rub it in, guys. So, as you look at that, we've got to make sure it gets all over there. We don't want to leave any spots bare. If you see a little bit, now remember, if you need a little bit more, just go get a little bit more. Shake it up. Maybe if you get your finger in there, stir it up. But we want to make sure all those spots are nice and covered. You don't want to leave any open or bare spots. So, once we get that side, we're going to then go ahead and make sure you want to get both of the sides here. We're going to go ahead and flip that over, and we're going to oil the other side. Now, we're going to keep rubbing that in once again. Now again, make sure you get those sides. You don't want to leave anything bare. So, after that, we're going to go ahead, we're going to pour on the rest of our seasoning here. Nice and even, not very even here, but we're going to make it even. And that's okay. So, spirit of rubs and rubbing, we're going to keep rubbing that in. Once again, bet you couldn't guess that. So, now, some things are going to fall off onto your board, but that's going to be okay. Guess what you do? You pick it up and, once again, you rub it in. So, once you get that looking nice and even, what you want to do is you want to make sure you've already prepared your smoker to about 225 degrees. You let that heat up nice and good. And once that's all heated up and you have your beef ribs rubbed in, we're going to go ahead and move on. Alright guys, so we've moved on to our smoker over here, and as you look, we got it set to about 225 for our target. We're sitting at 220. I've had the lid open here for a second. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lay this in the middle here. We're going to just lay it there. What we're going to do is we're going to leave that in there. We're going to close the lid, and we're going to come check on it here in about 2 hours. Alright guys, so we got our beef back ribs here, and they are not quite ready. It's about 2 hours, 20 minutes. Kind of wanted to open up and look at it. So once you have your bones showing like this, you're on the way there, but you're not quite there. We're going to let this go ahead for another 40 minutes to 3 hours. Then close that back up, come check on it, and then we're going to wrap it. Alright, so it's been about 3 hours for the beef back ribs. Now, I've taken them off the smoker, let them rest for about 10 minutes. So now we need to wrap them. But if you come in here, you can already tell these bad boys are starting to fall apart right here. And if you turn this over and look at those bones, really see how squishy it is. So we're still nice and moist. So what we're going to do here is you need to wrap it. I personally prefer butcher paper. I think it allows it to maintain the moisture without absolutely drowning it that you would normally see with aluminum foil. So what we're going to do here, go ahead, wrap this. Now, I also have my pre-cut second piece. So very careful. Correct. adjust. Now, to help keep that wrapped, a little bit of string. Alright guys, so this is our final product, trim string. So what we're trying to do there is we're just trying to keep this intact, retain all the moisture, but all that flavor really soaked in. So we're just going to open this back up. Look at those pretty steaks sitting on the back burner. And place this right on in there. We're just going to let that sit in there. We're going to check on it again here in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So here we have the grand opening. So we're going to go ahead and cut the string open. See what we got going on here. So we're going to go ahead, just pull that string out of the way. Get off the cutting board here. Now for the grand opening. Here. Ooh, that is tender. Very tender. Ooh. Would you look at that? Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Alright, so we had these cooking on the smoker at 225 for about 3 hours unwrapped, and then about 2 hours wrapped. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and just take that wrap out. Alright, now that the wrap is away, let's go ahead and, God, that's just falling off the bone. Let's just go ahead and let's cut one open here. Ooh, oh my God. Look at that. So that is pulled pork right there. That is just pulled beef. Oh my God, that is just pulling apart. Look at the probe. Look at that. Just pulling apart. So again, that was 3 hours unwrapped on the smoker, 225 Pit Boss Competition Series, and then we had 2 hours wrapped in butcher paper, not aluminum foil, butcher paper. All right, so let's see here. How's it taste? All right, that's awesome. And so yeah, that's how you make a beef back rib.